My dear friends, welcome to this today's sessions. Today we are going to discuss how to prepare project. We know that it is mandatory for awarding our degree under the University of Calicut. Before going to the sessions, I need to introduce myself. I am Dr. Binusa from Government College, Malappuram. Let's start our presentations. First of all, we can start with the word project. Project is defined as specific finite activity that produces an observable and measurable result under certain preset requirements. We know that it encourages to make decisions about the directions to take and to work independently. The stages of project work. It is mainly divided into three categories. First of all, first stage is plan of the project, and the second one is action phase, and third one is project report. In the first stage, plan of the project, it is main area is project proposal. Prepare project proposal. In the initial stage, first we need to find a area. For example, HRM, marketing, finance, accounting, some subject like that. After that, we need to select a topic in a particular area. After finalizing our topic, we need to make a proposal for getting approval from our supervising teacher. While preparing project proposal, it should include introduction, research problem, objectives, scope of the study, research methodology, etc. Then after preparing that, we should submit in front of the supervising teacher. After getting approval from our supervising teacher, we can move to the second stage, that is action phase. Action phase includes data collection, data analysis, and find research report. Then the third stage is report writing. Project report includes three parts. The first one is prefatory items, then second one is body of the report, and third one is conclusion part. Prefatory items includes title of the project, then various certificates, table of content, list of tables, something like that introductory part. Then the body of report is the core area of our project. It includes the chapters, our findings, our analysis, conceptual framework. All these are included in the body of report. And the concluding part, our findings, suggestions, and appendix, bibliography, all items. Introduction chapter may include background of the study, significance of the study, scope of the study, statement of the problem, objectives of the study, variables, hypothesis, research methodology, chapterization, and limitation of the study. Background of the study, it details about the topic. We need to introduce our topic in front of our readers. Then the second one is significance of the study. Significance provides the relevance of the study of selected topic. Then the third one is scope of the study. Under this head, information relating to coverage of the study has been given. Then the fourth one is statement of the problem. Problem means a question or issue to be examined. It should be given in the form of statement or research questions. It should give a clear idea about problem need to be addressed. A well-defined problem will have solved our project. Objectives of our study. It indicates what we are trying to get from the study. The objectives may aim at descriptions or explanation or analysis of causal relationship between variables. It indicates the expected result of the study. To give a clear-cut idea about our analysis. So, objectives of the study, a well-defined objectives should be compulsory for our project report. Then the next one is variables in the study. Variables means it is a concrete concept which are used to measure the objectives or getting the desired result of the project. For example, demographic variables, name, gender, marital status, income, all are demographic variables. And psychographic variables like attitude, awareness, perception, satisfaction, and quantitative variables, all are the variables it will be helpful for our study. Hypothesis. Hypothesis is a tentative propositions formulated for empirical testing. If suppose our objective is to identify the awareness level of customers, our variable is awareness. While formulating hypothesis, the awareness level connect to another demographic variable or another variables, and it is the combining of two variables. The hypothesis may be null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. We mainly focus on null hypothesis. It states in negative forms. It states that there is no relation between variables. In our objectives, we can state there is no significant relation between awareness and education level of education qualification of customers. It is a hypothesis. We can set another hypothesis like there is no significant relation between awareness and gender of customers. That is the hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is just opposite to the null hypothesis. It means it states that there is a significant relation between two variables. Research methodology. We don't need of research methodology discussion because we have studied in our previous semesters and we know aware about all these things like research design. We may hear about different research designs like descriptive, exploratory, types of data, primary data and secondary data we can use in our study, and source of data. We know that where we get different datas. We can collect data and we can collect data from published and fresh, we can collect fresh data. Sampling design. We have already studied different sampling techniques and tools for collecting data, tools of analysis. All these we have studied from the research methodology paper. Scale of measurement. It is the important things while preparing our project. The scales is categorized into 4. The first one is nominal scale. It stands for name of category. For example, gender. It is the name, male and female. Educational qualifications. The place of living. All these variables are come under nominal scale. Ordinal scale. Data elements may be ordered according to their relative size or quality. In this scale of measurement, we don't know how much better one product is than others. For example, in the ranking questions, we may ask our respondent to rank their preferences. Their first preference they may give first rank and the second preference second rank. We can say they are highly preferred that product and we cannot say how much they are preferred. The third scale is interval scale. Interval scale, the value of 0 is assigned arbitrarily and we can't take the ratio of two measurement. Example, temperature. The temperature is 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. 0 degree doesn't mean no temperature. Then it doesn't mean 100 degrees Celsius doesn't mean it is twice of 50 degrees Celsius. we can say 100 degrees Celsius is more hotter than 50 degrees Celsius, but we can't say how much hotter than 100 degree Celsius. Then the fourth one is ratio scale. It is the ideal scale for measuring our data. This is suitable for measuring properties which have natural 0 point. Example, money value. 0 means no money. The height. 0 height means no height. 0 weight means no weight. So, the natural 0 points we can use in ratio scale. Such kinds of variables we can use ratio scale. Then the important parts of our project is data analysis. Data analysis, first of all we need to collect data. After that we need to analyze our data. Before going to data analysis, we need to test the reliability of our sample data. Reliability means ability of measuring instrument to give accurate and consistent result. The cross tabulation and chi-square are most widely used in our project. It is used to check independence between two variables, income and savings, gender and wage, educational qualifications and savings. Chi-square test we can use to check the independence between these variables. Another test is independent sample t-test. It is used to compare means of two groups. For example, compare the attitude of male and female. Compare the attitude of commerce students and engineering students towards entrepreneurship. Performance of two banks, two organizations. If the variable is two groups, we can use independent sample t-test. If we have more than two groups, we can use one-way ANOVA. It is used to measure the changes in dependent variable due to any factor or variable having more than two dimensions. For example, compare the attitude and educational qualifications of respondents. And one nominal group and one scale question, we can use one-way ANOVA. For analyzing our data, we have so many softwares are available in the market. SPSS is very famous software for analyzing data in social science research. I would like to introduce this SPSS in front of you. For entering data in SPSS, we need, while opening SPSS, we can see such kinds of window. For entering data, please click new and data. Then we can get this window. Just click variable view. The first column is name. For typing this, we can Q1. This means question number 1. Then type. Which type? It's numerical. We can analyze only numerical data. Width we can set, and decimals usually we can type 0. Label, describe your variable. If the question number is asking gender, you can type gender of respondent. Then values. We can give values here. Value 1, label. In the case of gender, we have two options, male and female. If you want to give 1 for male, you can, in the value column you can enter 1 and label, please type male. Then click add. Then the second one, value 2, label female. Then click add. then click OK. Then the next one, measure. In SPSS we have only 3 scale of measurement, that is scale, ordinal, nominal. From the previous slide we understand that it is the category of nominal scale. Just click the nominal. Then as like this, then enter the second questions, Q2. Then what is the type, numeric, decimals, please enter 0. Then if it is educational qualification, type the educational qualifications, then give the value. 1 means SSLC, please type SSLC, then add. Likewise give all the values of your options in the educational qualifications. Then it is also click OK. Then in the scale click nominal. Likewise enter all the variables in the variable view. After that take data view. Just see, you can see the Q1, Q2. We only enter 2 questions, that is why. If you enter all your questions, all these show in the variables data columns. Q1 you can just type, if the take your first questionnaire, if it is the gender is male, just enter 1. Question number 2, if it is PG holder, just click value 5. What value you give in the variable view, just enter this column. Then the second, likewise 2 or 1, whichever, this the numerical value of your variables, enter this data view. I have already entered prepared a data for you. We can just open it. This is the one. The question number 1, age in years. Age in years means it is the scale, measurement of scale is scale. Then question number 2, educational qualification. We can check the value. 1 equal to, you can see in the table, 1 equal to illiterate, 2 is equal to primary level, and 3 matriculation for higher secondary. This is the nominal scale. Likewise, I entered a questionnaire into this manner. Then we have to move how to calculate our frequency. Just click, you have so many options here. Just click analyze, then descriptive statistics, and the first option is frequencies. Just click the frequency and you will get such kinds of window. If you want to calculate the frequency of educational qualification, just select it and add here. Then give OK. You will get the answer. Educational qualification, it is the 100 samples. Frequency illiterate is out of 100, 38% is illiterate. Primary level education 35, matriculation 21, higher secondary education only 6 migrated workers. Then you can select it and you can add in your project report. It's the way of calculating frequency. Then we can, let's see how to calculate cross tabulations. Just click analyze, descriptive statistics, and the fourth one is cross tab. Cross tab is the compare two variables. if you want to compare educational qualifications and nature of work, educational qualification add to row or column as you like, then nature of work you can add in another column or row. Then click statistics. If you want to compare these two variables, please tick chi-square, then click continue, then click OK. You will get the answer. The first you will get the cross tab. Educational qualification is the row and the nature of work is the column. Illiterate person 28% working as daily wage and 10% working as contract basis. Then chi-square test. We always consider Pearson chi-square test. The significance value is 0.165. It is greater than the p-value 0.05. So our hypothesis is accepted. That means there is no significant associations between nature of work and the educational qualifications of migrant workers. Let's see another analysis. If we want to compare two groups, we can use independent sample t-test. Let's see how to use independent sample t-test in SPSS. Just click analyze, then compare means, select independent sample t-test. Then we will get such kinds of dialog box. Just select your if you want to select which one is if you want to analyze, select that variable from your total. I use total satisfaction as test variable and gender used as grouping variable. Then click define groups, group 1 value 1 type 1 and group 2 type 2. Then click continue. Then click OK. You will get the result. Independent sample t-test. Then this column you can see significant value 0.583. It is greater than the p-value 0.05. So this hypothesis we are accepted. That means there is no significant relation between gender and satisfaction of workers. The next test is one-way ANOVA. Just click analyze and compare means, one-way ANOVA, select educational qualification, dependent list and independent total satisfaction. Then you can click OK. Then you will get such kinds of table. This value significant value 0.411. It means our null hypothesis is accepted because it is greater than the p-value 0.05. So that means there is no significant relation between educational qualification and satisfaction level of customers. This is the basic things about SPSS and let's go our slide. Then after that, the last stage of our project preparation is report writing. Research report is the formal statement of research process and it is the medium of informing about our result. The outline of report is mainly three category: prefatory items, body of report and terminal items. We know that what are the things included in these categories. These are all about our project preparations. Thank you for watching my video. Wish you all the success for your upcoming examination and project preparation. Okay, thank you.